I was not so strong in faith. Something was touching me, but I couldn't understand what it was. I conceived for the very first time after 9 years of my marriage, and 5.5 months after my pregnancy, we heard the news like my husband was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. It was like a real shock. I asked Mother Mary if she could actually hug me and comfort me. We all have to rely on Mother Mary instead of our strength. So that way we are going to see a lot of blessings, as well as life is going to be a lot more easier for us. I am Reeva Cecil, wife of Jim Kunjaria and mom to Rebecca. I always had a special love towards Mother Mary. I used to spend a lot of time in the chapel in my school because I found peace when I'm with Mother Mary. But again, I was not so strong in faith, but I used to go to church on all Sundays, and we used to do a rosary every day. As I grew older, I was more dry life and I was not so regular with church. After marriage, things started to change. I knew my husband was very strong in his faith. I wanted to know more why he was praying all the time, why he was attending adoration all the time. And one day he actually asked if I wanted to do a consecration to Mother Mary. And I said, yeah, why not? I can join. Then we started to do the 33 days consecration. And I could feel I started to change. And something was touching me, but I couldn't understand what it was. But then gradually I came to know I was getting more and more close to Jesus. And Mother Mary also helped me to actually grow more and more in Christ. And I started to get more and more close to Jesus Christ. And I started to read Bible for the very first time. And I was surprised, in a couple of months, I was able to read Bible in full. And that was the first ever book I've ever read in full. And I started to look into my inner self with Mother Mary's intercession. And then I started to be regular with confession and daily mass. And I was overjoyed with everything. Earlier, I was a person who was very weak, as well as not at all strong, don't have the courage to do anything. I lacked confidence. But again, when I entrusted myself to Jesus through Mother Mary's intercession, I felt yes, I wasn't worried about anything. Things started to flow very easily towards me. Earlier, I used to rely a lot on my strength, whether it's getting a job or doing anything in my life. But again, once I surrendered it to Jesus through Mother Mary's intercession, I started to realize everything started to fall in place, and nothing was impossible. Everything was possible through Jesus Christ. So this brought me a lot of inner joy, peace and comfort amidst of all the problems or whatever the situation may be, because Jesus was handling my cross instead of myself. When we first moved to Australia, everything was so different. I studied here and then I got a job. It was quite a challenging job, and I worked with a client who was very aggressive, as well as she showed a lot of difficult behaviors. She used to do a lot of self-harm, which was very difficult for me to go through. But I was working with a couple of other workers. And then I realized like this wasn't helping, and she was attacking everyone. But to my surprise, I used to always carry rosary with me, and I used to always pray rosary in my mind even when I'm at work. And even when the client is very aggressive, client will hit like everyone besides me, but I remain untouched. So I could understand like one thing that made me get protected from there was like it was Mother Mary's intercession, as well as I could feel like the Mother Mary was covering me in her veil. This was a great happiness for me and joy. So I started to share what was actually protecting me with my friends, and they started to actually do the rosary, and they could experience similar experience. Like the client who was always aggressive started to actually settle down when we used to work. So that was actually helping to grow and grow more deeper in Mother Mary's faith.
I need you closer than ever than before. My life is wasted if I can't spend it all with you.
I was married to Jim for like 9 years. We didn't have a baby, but it didn't affect our happiness or peace, because Mother Mary and Jesus was always there to support us. So that lack of child was actually covered by the love that we used to receive from Mother Mary, as well as through Jesus. One fine day, like I got a call from my cousin in Swiss, and she did a video call, and she was at Lourdes grotto, and she asked us to a prayer, and we had like a personal prayer, and we asked a few intentions, and then the call ended. Life started to move like how it used to be, but we always had a faith like, yes, if we were to have child, Jesus will definitely give us. And 2 months later, I conceived for the very first time after 9 years of my marriage. So it is nothing other than Mother Mary's intercession that brought the blessing, and we were like overjoyed. We didn't know what to do, because it was like after such a long wait, and again like happiness, doing a lot of plans, everything. And 5.5 months after my pregnancy, like we heard the news, like my husband Jim was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. It was like a real shock, and didn't know what to do. 2 days before Jim was diagnosed with cancer, like we just finished attending a Shalom World retreat in Adelaide, South Australia, and this gave us like a lot of inner peace, as well as confidence, and be more regular with Bible reading. And the first passage at that time that we start reading the Bible was Job, and we had a discussion. When we have read Bible multiple times, but this word of God has never struck us. So it was like, shall we accept only the good things from God and not receive evil? So we spoke to each other like, yes, that's a true thing. Like when we have a blessing, we accept it, but when something bad happens, it's more likely that we say, why me? So then he told me, like we discussed 2 days ago, so we won't be asking Jesus like why this happened to us, but instead like there is a purpose for Jesus which we don't know yet, but we will find it out. But I am going to live, I am not going to die. When Simeon actually told Mother Mary, like a sword will pierce your heart. So I thought like I was also going through a similar situation, like a sword actually hit my heart. I was in great sorrow. So I thought like only Mother Mary can understand me. No other person can comfort me, because Mother Mary has suffered a lot in her lifetime, and then only she had the glory. So I knew like, yes, I'm going to share my issues with Mother Mary. And I prayed to Mother Mary, especially to Mother Mary of Lourdes. And I asked Mother Mary if she could actually hug me and comfort me. And that night, like after praying to Mother Mary, I also did a Stations of the Cross. I did Memorare and I did a Rosary. A few days later, I got a call from a priest, and he told me like I could see a vision in which Mother Mary was hugging you, and I burst down into tears because that was a really touching thing for me, because I prayed to Mother Mary and it was personal. Even Jim didn't know like I did pray like that. So I knew like, yes, my prayers has been heard, which was very comforting for me. And from that day, like I got the confidence, like I knew like, yes, Mother Mary is with me, so I don't have to be afraid. My mentor actually contacted me and told me like, I could see like Mother Mary is running around doing everything for you. And the same way like how Mother Mary actually helped Elizabeth when she was in need. So we could see like a lot of people from Adelaide, like those we know as well as those whom we don't know, have been coming, dropping food or any other things like, or transporting us, whatever was in need, they were helping us. And I was also able to like drive and take my husband to the hospital for his chemo and everywhere. So this was like strange when it comes to me, because I was in very much in pain and struggle during my initial days of my pregnancy. So my husband had to actually take care of me. But the day when he was diagnosed with cancer, my pain disappeared. So we came to know like, yes, Jesus didn't want us to be in too much pain, because my pain disappeared, as well as I got that courage like, yes, when Jesus and Mother Mary is there, why should I not be able to do anything? Even my doctor, like gynecologist, was surprised, like, because even till end of the term, I didn't have like my blood pressure, nothing was going high. It was all normal, which was strange. But my doctor was very much worried about my health because I was just running around, got some kind of special energy to do everything. Even like 2 days before I delivered, I had to be at hospital with Jim. But then again, nothing affected my confidence. So I wasn't worried about the baby because I knew like Mother Mary is going to take care of it. A few months after, we heard this news like Jim had a full remission from cancer. Who else can do that from a stage 4 cancer to remission, which was like really impossible? Life started to be overjoyed now. Like we got actually a lot of time to spend with the baby.
To new beginnings, to breaks of days, to times of healing, to hope and faith.
When being in like a country like Australia, both of us have to work to survive. But we weren't working for like, currently it's like more than 12 months that I have worked. But then again, like Jesus provided us, and it's much beyond words could explain. Like one could experience Jesus to know like what he can do for us. Even we weren't eligible for any social security or anything because we were like new permanent residents. But still, again, there was miracle happening. And we were eligible for like special benefits irrespective of what was going on. So who else other than Jesus through Mother Mary's intercession was doing all this for us? I currently work with Rest Haven. So my job is like I work with the assessment team. So I see a lot of elderly clients. One thing that I realized like with my current experience was like earlier I used to see patients like with cancer diagnosed, but I think like I didn't realize it the way I know I see it now, because currently I have my own personal experience which tells me like what they are going through in a much more deeper way. So I got to share a lot of how I dealt with it when I had similar situation, and also I share like how Jesus has actually helped me and how he can help them in their difficult times. This I could see like people started to get really motivated, and I could give that hope to them. Like it's not something that you have to be worried about. Rather, it is going to be something that they have to leave it in the hands of God, and he will do the rest. So one of the clients that I met recently, like he was very worried and he didn't know what to do. And when I shared my experience, he told me like, yes, now I realize like with worrying, I was actually getting more and more sick, and he couldn't even start his second chemo. But he told like, yes, now I'm going to leave it to God. So that way, like I can also handle the situation the same way you have dealt with your husband. He told me like it was good that I shared with him because it's going to bring a drastic change in his life. And this made me really happy because I started to do my job in a much more better way, and the comfort that Jesus can give is going to be a much more comfort, or that even like the world can give to the clients. And always encourage them to do Holy Rosary, so that way like yes, they can also get close to Jesus through Mother Mary's intercession. One thing I would like to tell to everyone is like we strongly believe like yes, it was through Mother Mary's intercession that we were able to get full remission for Jim, as well as we were also blessed with a little one, because the Mighty One has actually done great things for us. So that was possible only with the intercession of Mother Mary. So we can't be more thankful for the graces that we have received through the intercession of Mother Mary. And I strongly believe like if Mother Mary could help me, Mother Mary could help anyone in the world. So it's just a matter of life, just going to her, just sit down beside her, because some days we can't even pray. We just have to sit beside, and Mother Mary will do the rest.
Our Lady of Fatima will go down as the greatest of Marian apparitions in history. It all began on May 13th in the year 1917 when 3 shepherd children, Lucia dos Santos, her cousins Francisco Marto and Jacinta Marto, witnessed a vision of the Virgin Mary standing in front of them in the fields of Cova de Iria. They received messages of peace and of prayer, and they even saw a vision of hell. Many thousands of people began to gather in that area, and they saw the children there seeing the Virgin Mary, the Blessed Mother of God. These messages were distributed to the faithful, made it all around the world, making Fatima the greatest of all Marian devotions. The greatest miracle that happened related to Fatima was the Great Sun Miracle, which occurred on October 13th, in which the thousands of people there who had been gathered to hear those messages of Our Lady and to witness a miracle. drenched in a rainstorm, and they looked up to the sky and they saw the sun growing in size and spinning and descending on them. Was it mass hallucination? I'm not quite sure. The people there who were drenched previously were instantaneously dried, and people witnessed this miracle from many miles away. Our Lady of Fatima goes down as one of the greatest apparitions in church history, and Pope John Paul II beatified two of those visionaries and released the third secret of Fatima that related to the assassination of a bishop in white. He, of course, relates that to his own assassination attempt on the Feast of Our Lady of Fatima, taking the bullet from that assassination and placing it in the crown of Our Lady of Fatima. Our Lady of Fatima will go down as the greatest Marian apparition in the history of the Catholic Church.
Years of sharing the peace of Christ. Shalom World, God's own channel.